minutes. So you're going to get yourself a job now and move out of the family gaff?
No, I don't live in my parents' house. You do. And I'm not going out to get a job. If you want to move out of your parents' house, you should probably get a job. Do you remember the cops were here earlier on today?
Yeah.
What were they looking for?
The nuns.
Like the local nuns in the local parish?
No, not nuns as in like convent nuns. Nuns as in, it's a family name. It's a certain, they live down the road, they're family.
Nuns and cops. It's like a bad night in Copperface Jack's nightclub. You know, all the cops and nuns up from the country.
What the fuck would a nun be doing in a nightclub?
Probably a waltz or something. I don't think they know any modern dances. You might get one nun from Jamaica who's doing the crunk. Watch me know.
It's nurses. You're talking about nurses.
I think you should copy your nurse onto your latest lady buzz.
With ounces of raw panache.
With kilos of raw panache. Do you know what we should do though?
What?
You should start to write this scene, because I'm not really going very far with it.
Cool.
Yeah, like the way the format is now, I've kind of blown it wide open. It's like that time that I used Connor instead of Mark. Or, sorry, the time that I used Mark instead of Connor, and like now I'm using...
Why did you have Mark and the wife beater stuff?
That's just how Mark dresses. If you, like... I'm using you now, and like it's like I could do anything. It's like anybody could... Nothing means anything now. It's like I could get anybody to play anybody. I could just put a big note up on an internet site saying, who wants to do the next Ape Story? Except no, there is no way that I'm going to let that happen. Ape Story is my thing, and I'm going to protect it the way that I should protect it and not leave it open to this bullshit. Although, having said that, I do think that you should write this scene.
Cool.
Are you ready?
Totally.
Alright, you're in charge.
Great, right, well the thing was, I was thinking, maybe not for this Ape Story, for the next one, you should sit it out and really concentrate on the directorial side of it, being behind the camera, setting up all your shots right, and getting the sound and the continuity like totally down. Like, and the other thing I was thinking as well was Tony. Right, I remember back in college, right, years ago, I remember sitting down watching Tony lashing through a big plate of chips. And he was like sweating, big beads of sweat in his brow. Like you used to do, that was your thing. Like, let's watch Colleen eat the plate of chips and sweat his balls off. But like, the thing about Tony was, he did this big kind of gesture where he'd wipe the sweat off his brow. And he did it with more conviction. And I don't mean to offend you, but he was a bit more Colleen than Colleen is.
We don't know anyone called Tony. You used to call me Tony when we started college. I thought you were doing it to annoy me.
Tony used to drive to college in the red Yugo.
The little red, battered Yugoslavian car.
Yeah.
That was me, that was my car. Look, this thing with you writing the scene, it's not working out. I want control back, because the stuff that we were saying there is like way off the point.
The stuff you'd written previously was totally off the point. Isn't that the point? Like, oh, what's the point?
I think we're sailing perilously close to some kind of bizarre identity collapse or something. Tell me more about this Tony.
Tony! He drinks a little bit too much sometimes, gets a bit pathetic when he's drunk. He moans about this sciatic nerve problem that he's pretending to have. Like, his parents were the Holocaust survivors. His ma looks like Brenda Fricker, the dad like Carl Marlden with the nose.
That is bullshit. You basically just described me there. And my old man looks nothing like Carl Marlden.
I think you're missing the point. I am Carl Marlden. Am I still writing this?
No, and it's a good thing as well, because you're bloody all over the place. I'm writing it, and every couple of sentences I stop and I call out to you the sentence and I ask you what you think, but essentially it's still me writing it, and that's, as far as I can see, that's a good thing.
Okay, I think we should stop this. I think there's no point to this. I don't think there's any structure. I think there's all these in-jokes between me and you, and in-jokes are like the lowest form of art next to macrame.
What's macrame?
Macrame is the voodoo martial art that Tom Selleck started in the 50s.
Right.